This is a demonstration how to set up a form for a rectangular cube. I call it this, it's three-dimensional, but it doesn't have to have the exact equal sides. So you can make nice, tall, skinny cubes, little short, fat ones. And we use, as you could tell, the Y technique because everything starts with a Y shape. Let's begin. We are going to start by making our marks on our guide. It's hard to see. And I like to start, and they don't have to be perfect, to make 3 marks, about the same distance apart. This is learning the technique. It's not about precision, but I want you to be able to see the numbers right here. Start with our first line will be a vertical line, the vertical line of the Y. And we want to make it vertical so it's easy to line up the edge of your guide, sometimes with the edge of your paper. Draw a line from the top edge to the number 2. Then you're going to turn your guide one way or another, and you are going to have a line that starts at the very top of that vertical line with the mark for number 1 on it, and you're going to draw a line from that to the edge. We want to make our Y's very wide, not acute. So we want obtuse instead of acute. Look at me using some geometry. Then we're going to match up the edge of our guide with the top of that vertical line, and we are going to make, as best as we can, a symmetrical line to go from the hash mark of line 1 all the way to the edge. What shape does that look like? It looks like a Y. Now we're going to start with one arm of the Y. Take your pick. I'm right-handed, so I usually start with the right side. If you're working with the right side, you want to line up the edge of your guide on top of that vertical line, and you want to make your guide parallel to the right arm, or if you're working on the left side, the left arm. By keeping your hand as steady as possible, you're going to pull the guide to you while keeping that edge on that vertical line and maintaining this angle of your guide. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky for me. Use both hands. And if you wiggle a little bit, that's why we do what I call dropping a dot. I will make a small little dot right there, remove this, and I will check my work to see if it lines up with that edge. This line will be parallel to that first vertical line. So I know if I went to line 2 on this one, the distance between this and this should be the same. We'll go like this, line it up, and okay, I don't normally do this correctly the first time. If I did it incorrectly, I would adjust and change my dot, and then I would check this way again. But because of this is a video and it shows that I did something right on. Once I've double checked my lines, I'm going to connect the edge to the dot from the top arm, as well as a line from the bottom of the vertical line. We are going to do the same thing to the opposite side. So instead of the edge along that vertical line, I'm going to put the mark for number 1. I'm going to make the angle of the guide parallel to the angle of the top left arm. And then again, I will drag the guide. There may be a little wiggle. I'm wiggling a lot more this time, so I'll probably really need to check my work. And I will drop my dot. Remember, it's going from the edge to line 2. So I go up here, and okay, my wiggling was okay. Look at that. I know it's hard to see. Now that I know that it lines up, I can connect the dots. Now I like to rotate my guide and place the mark for number 1 on the opposite side arm to the one that I'm lining up the guide. So I'm putting this mark on the left arm to make sure that the guide is parallel to that right arm. Then I move this along that line, keeping my guide as steady as possible until I get to the edge. And I saw that move. Like usual, I will drop my dot. I will turn it the other way and check my work. Oh, see? I'm off. That little wiggle really messed me up. So I'm going to adjust by dropping another dot and checking my work. Once I've checked my work, I will connect those lines. It's a little bit off, so if I need to change that, there we go. That's better. Make any adjustments necessary. Especially for your first time, it does not have to be perfect. Remember always to drop the dots and check your work.